France finds itself in a renewed period of political crisis after French Prime Minister Sébastien Lecornu handed in his resignation this Monday morning, making him the shortest serving Prime Minister since 1958, less than 1 month. He was appointed beginning of September to try to steer next year's budget plan through a deeply fragmented parliament and tackle a ballooning deficit that stands at 5.8% of GDP in 2024, well above the EU limit of 3%. His cabinet that was announced on Sunday night faced a fierce criticism for its lack of renewal. 12 out of the 18 ministers had already served in the previous government. So what's next? Well, looking ahead for French President Emmanuel Macron, it looks like the president faces difficult choices. He can either appoint a new prime minister, ideally from outside his camp this time, or he could call for new snap parliamentary elections. But this option doesn't guarantee a less fractured parliament, and new elections could also give some advantage and more seats in parliament to the far right or the left, which is something that Macron does not want. And the last option is that Macron could also step down, but this remains a highly unlikely decision. Sofia Katzenkova reporting from Paris for Euronews.
German Chancellor Friedrich Merz says Germany should boycott next year's Eurovision Song Contest if Israel is excluded. In an interview with public broadcaster ARD, Merz called it a scandal that Israel's participation is even being questioned.
Das würde ich befürworten. Ich halte es für einen Skandal, dass darüber überhaupt diskutiert wird. Israel gehört dazu.
Germany is part of Eurovision's so-called Big Five, alongside France, Italy, Spain and the UK, the contest's biggest financial contributors. Spain has said it will withdraw from next year's competition if Israel is not banned. Broadcasters in the Netherlands, Ireland, Iceland and Slovenia have also threatened to pull out. Faced with increasing pressure, the European Broadcasting Union said it would hold an online vote in November on whether Israel should take part. Last year, Israel's involvement sparked numerous pro-Palestinian protests. Rescue teams in Slovenia found on Sunday the body of one of 3 Croatian mountaineers who had been swept away in an avalanche. The group had been climbing the Tosk mountain in northwestern Slovenia when the avalanche struck. 4 members had stopped to rest, while the other 3 continued and were caught in the debris. Police say the search for the remaining 2 climbers has been suspended until Monday because of worsening weather and further risk. Slovenia has been hit by sudden cold weather, bringing early snow, strong winds and freezing temperatures.
US-based scientists Mary E. Branco and Fred Ramsdell and their Japanese peer Shimon Sakaguchi have won the 2025 Nobel Prize in Medicine. The 3 were awarded for their groundbreaking discoveries in peripheral immune tolerance, which is one way the body helps keep the immune system from attacking its own tissues instead of foreign invaders, a symptom of autoimmune diseases. The award is the first of this year's Nobel Prize announcements and was announced by a panel at the Karolinska Institute in Stockholm. Nobel Prize announcements will continue throughout the week, with the Peace Prize announced on Friday.
The data we collect provides authorities with good insights to optimize traffic arrangements and good infrastructure development. The drone-based traffic monitor will help reduce congestion, improve traffic management and promote more sustainable urban planning.
This year there have been just under 60 encounters of orcas ramming into boats off the coast of Portugal. In recent years, the number of incidents has multiplied. No injuries have so far been reported. However, the orcas have sunken multiple vessels.
Relativamente a interações e avistamentos de orcas durante 2025, há de referir 30 avistamentos e 24 interações.
Scientists believe that the goal of the orcas, which can weigh up to 11 tons, is to play and not attack.
Temos de ver isto quase como um jogo, quase como aquele jogo da corda, um puxa para um lado, outro puxa para o outro. Porquê? Porque o leme é efetivamente uma peça fundamental para direcionar a embarcação. E ao facto de eles brincarem com o leme, estão efetivamente a mudar a direção da embarcação e parece que despoleta o interesse. Não podemos dizer que isto são comportamentos agressivos, na medida em que estes animais são animais de grande porte. Se efetivamente quisessem ter um comportamento agressivo, seria de outra intensidade, de outra escala.
The science community believes the rammings are likely a learned behavior among the animals, and what started with just a few juvenile orcas has now spread to a larger number of individuals in the population.
Estamos a falar mais ou menos de 30 a 40 indivíduos e, portanto, as estimativas é que se calhar já metade deste número começa a demonstrar este tipo de interação com as embarcações.
The Institute for Nature Conservation and Forests created a safety protocol on how to react in the event of orcas approaching boats.
Há duas situações possíveis. Uma é parar as máquinas, baixar as velas, não fazer movimentos bruscos e aguardar que os animais, no fundo, dispersem. A outra situação, e voltando a referir, desde que o mar o permita, é colocar máquinas a ré, engrenar as máquinas a ré.
We were trying to study how fast is the rate of material getting into the object. And what we suddenly found is that there was a very strong growth of material that was impacting the central object. And when we saw this, it's when we realized that it was a very special phenomenon. This is the first time that this kind of phenomena has been observed in such a low mass object.
In astronomy, when we talk about quick things, for instance, we say the star formation happens quickly, and quickly we mean 1 million years. Okay, so quickly is very relative. But this object went from gaining material at a very different rate, so at a low level, let's say, to gaining material hundreds of times more efficiently in days. That is like something that happens in a matter of days and months in astrophysics is crazy.